Hey everybody, this is Everyday Commentary. This is a video overview of this knife. This knife is the Hinderer Compact Dauntless. This is a triple aught design knife, as you can see with the logo and the three fullers. And this is my favorite Hinderer, and this is also my favorite Dauntless. I've had a custom from Brian Fellholter, and I've had a Mark II, Mark III from the company, which were produced by Millet. This is, in my mind, the very best of the Dauntlesses. I have a weird pivot issue, which I had to make a tool to fix. So this is what I did. I took a picture hanger, I clipped off one end, and then I filed down the other so that it now rests. Let's see, can I get it to go in? Yeah, now it rests right in there, and this doesn't scratch up the knife because I made it too short. So, other than the pivot issue, and by the way, this is a tri-way pivot, I really like the look of the knife, I like the feel of the knife. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some size comparisons, and I'm going to give you some specs, and then I'm going to tell you what I like and what I don't like. So, first of all, here's a knife compared to the Benchmade mini grip. Both have 3-inch blades. The mini grip is something of an anomaly in how they squeeze the blade length in there. So as you can see, if you put the blades, the mini grip has basically the same blade length as the Dauntless. There is a lot of wasted space at the end of the Dauntless because they did a pillar style lanyard instead of a hole style lanyard, so they had to give you plenty of clearance from the tip of the blade. But lengthwise, it's a little longer than the mini grip, and it has the same blade length. It is a smidge thinner, maybe not a ton thinner, and it is not quite as tall. Yeah, see, it's just a little bit shorter than the Benchmade mini grip. Here it is in comparison to AA battery. As you can see, it's not quite as thick as a AA battery, but it is definitely a substantial knife. This is not a knife you will forget in your pocket. It comes in right around 3.8, 4 ounces, somewhere around there. It does have a 3-inch blade length, and I believe that a sharpened blade length is 2.6 inches. It does have, as you can see, a real prominent half-and-half finger choil. It runs titanium frame lock with the lock bar insert and the Hinderer over travel, which that might be a little overdone, but whatever. It has a stamped titanium pocket clip. This is a classic Hinderer clip. It is compatible with some of the Hinderer accessories, so if you want to like tech it out, yippee. It's a tri-way pivot, so there are 3 different pivots. You can get a phosphor bronze pivot, a bearing pivot, which is the one that's in right now, or the Teflon pivot, which I think no one will choose, ever. The blade is made of 20 CV steel, which is the crucible equivalent of Buller M390 and Carpenter's CTS 204P. It is an excellent all-around steel. As you can see, this has been given a very, very even, clean bead blast. It's almost like bead blast on top of mirror polish. It is a spectacular and beautiful blade. It has a half grind, and the grind it does use is a full flat grind. It deploys only with thumb studs. There's no flipper here. So if you don't like thumb stud knives, this ain't your jam. There's some jimping up here and nowhere else. So all of the jimping on the XM18 is gone, which is great because that thing was jimptacular. The jimping that is here is really sort of mild. It's more decorative than it is functional, but given that you have these 2 prominent finger slots, an index notch and a finger choil, your hand's not going anywhere. You can hold and use the knife like this. It just feels a little unnatural, but right here you're up against the blade length. It gives you pretty much exactly what you want. It does use the typical titanium Hinderer standoffs. So what I like the way this knife looks. This is a beautiful, beautiful knife. I wish the G10 were polished G10, but as it is, it's pretty mild G10, and it is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. This is one of the most handsome knives, in my opinion, that has ever been made. It is a great, great design. The other thing I like is I love the half and half finger choil. You get right up on there. You can really get up next to the work and do some good detail cutting, and that's super, super duper helpful. The whole knife has really nice eased or buttered edges. As you can see, pretty much every surface your hand would come in contact with, or is supposed to come in contact with, has been treated in some way. It's been rounded over, it's been buffed or polished. It is just great, and it has that Hinderer feel where everything fits together well, but it also feels smooth and feels very warm and worn in, and I love that, especially here with the jimping. You can see that all the edges are gone, but there's still a little bit of grip there. It's nice, very, very nice. As you could, the one thing that's strange is there's this little divot up here, and I think it was supposed to be a sign like the knife had like a straight, and then they cut the swedge. But what it ends up doing is it ends up being a really nice place to put your thumb if you need to. Like if you're just doing press cuts and you're not really shoving or pushing, you don't need to worry about your finger going over a certain spot. And this is just great, very, very good. The attention to detail on this knife is out of this world. It's great. Everything has been nicely considered. I like the Hinderer pocket clip. I've always liked the Hinderer pocket clip. It's pretty good. And this is probably the thinnest and least ridiculous of the Hinderer knives, and I greatly, greatly appreciate that. Two things I don't like. First of all, the pivot's been a little weird. I've had to make, as I said, I had to make a tool to grab this side, and I now locked it in. It seems like it's fine. If it doesn't stay, I'll note that in the review. The other thing that I don't like is there's really no reason to have this here. Like, I would much rather the knife be shorter or the blade be longer, and actually I'd just rather the handle be shorter, and get rid of the lanyard hole. Like, not every knife needs a lanyard hole. Not every knife needs a lanyard. And so adding this extra length on here for really no reason is kind of a waste. It also goes to show just how good the design is on the mini grip. The fact that they're able to squeeze this lanyard hole in here and not add any extra length is quite impressive. This is a great design. I don't think people often appreciate just how good of a design the mini grip is. So kudos to, it's a Mel Perdue design, so kudos to Mel Perdue and Benjamin. It's a great design. This knife is one of those knives that is definitely going to stick with me. I like the Dauntless. I like having a Dauntless. It's, you know, if you don't know what you're going to do, and you could go from anywhere from like grocery store to 4-hour wilderness hike, this is a knife you put in your pocket and you don't worry. It's not big enough to like really scare the crap out of people, but it's also tough enough that you don't have to baby it. So just a lot of really good stuff here on the Hinderer Compact Dauntless. One final note, I'm sure they're going to make a special edition. They've already made a run in titanium. There's also one in OD green. This one's black. I really don't care. I just don't want the weight of a metal handle on metal handle, so I'd opt for this one. There is no skeletonizing on this. I don't really know why. It's something that seems like it would be an easy add and make the knife better. So there you go. The Hinderer Compact Dauntless. It's a mid-tech produced by Triple Odd Design and Rick Hinderer Knives. Look for a review coming soon.